When we agreed to form our group and take part in ILEAD, the first question we had to answer was, what's a community need that we want to fill? Now, we're all from the state library, except for our wonderful mentor, Tracy. So the concept of community for us involves multiple communities. So what could we do to provide a special service for our many hardworking communities? The answer came actually pretty quickly. We wanted to bring a kind of special technology to them that they wouldn't otherwise have access to because of a lack of funding or a lack of resources. So why drone kits? Well, let me drag out some numbers because we all know how important statistics are from our statistics programming that we've had. Here's a shocking one. Despite the digital age that we live in, a survey from the Nellie Mae Education Foundation showed that only 8% of teachers integrate technology into the classroom, resulting in 43% of students feeling like they will not be able to use technology effectively in the future, especially in their future careers. So why? Well, part of this gap is the result of teacher inexperience with technology. Only 23% feel prepared to incorporate technology into their curriculum, which goes hand in hand with a lack of funding, and as a result, a lack of accessibility to new technology. Well, why is this so important? Young people learn best when they are active participants in their education, and technology is one of the most engaging ways to encourage participation. Also, young people are highly motivated to use technology, as anybody who's ever been around a 3-year-old and an iPad can attest. However, young people use technology in familiar ways, often less willing or less confident, to explore with it in newer creative ways. The majority of their time spent with technology is with mobile devices, communicating and consuming media. They are largely using technology passively. This is why the enormous hits to the arts and music programs have been so devastating. Funds have been cut in more than 80% of U.S. school districts since 2008, with the arts and music programs being hardest hit. Despite this, numerous studies have shown that young people who are involved in artistic activities are better communicators and listeners as adults, since the arts help develop motor abilities and actually change the way that brains are structured in a positive way. One solution seems to be to combine young people's motivation to learn and use technology with artistic endeavors, motivating them to use technology in ways that are unfamiliar and require them to communicate in new ways and create. This is one of the many areas that libraries can step in to help their communities. Libraries can try to fill in the gaps that the overworked, underfunded school system can't, developing creative programs using technology that allows young people to play and learn in a less structured environment than the classroom. Most libraries are already doing this, such as the many Minecraft clubs at public libraries around the country or the robotic programs. Still, as we're all very aware, funding is also limited in public and school libraries. The North Dakota State Library wanted to present a fun solution with the drone kit, innovative technology that's on the forefront of the changing cultural landscape, which will excite young people and hopefully provide lots of great opportunities for creative programming. So now that I've gotten the philosophical stuff out of the way, I'm going to turn this over to Krista, who will explain how the kit will work for the communities that we serve.
Hello. I'm going to be talking about the nitty-gritty of the drone kit. The drone kit will be available sometime in the near future at the North Dakota State Library as a kit on our KitKeeper site. This site is found if you go under our website, library.nd.gov, and then go under Services for Libraries and Education, and you click on the KitKeeper link. The drone kit will be available for library and school library use only. Following our policy for our other technology kits, these will check out for 8 weeks at a time. We will provide delivery one way, and it will be up to the borrower to return the kit back to us. We are still discussing if this should be a hand-deliver only kit or if we could send it UPS. It will be trial and error for us initially on getting all the bugs out of delivery. A question that I expect to get with this kit is, what if it gets damaged and who is responsible? Well, like any of our kits, the borrower is responsible for any damage of the drone, iPad, or in our drone's case, property. You will be charged for only the amount that needs to get repaired or replaced. Perhaps you break a propeller. The price right now for a replacement propeller is $12.99. If you destroy the iPad beyond any type of repair, you would be charged for a replacement iPad. Flying a drone does come with some in-flight regulations that come from the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, the North Dakota Century Code, the U.S. Department of Transportation, and the Academy of Model Aeronautics. The FAA has started a program called Know Before You Fly and has a nice poster about the do's and don'ts of flying model aircrafts. Some of the main points on the poster are that you should learn to fly the drone safely, which Sherry will be showing us later with our flight simulator. Other main points is that you cannot fly a drone within 5 miles of an airport, which is why we will not be flying it in here. Always keep the drone in your line of sight, and you cannot fly the drone for commercial purposes without first being registered. A few other guidelines to keep in mind are to never fly around crowds and keep the drone under 400 feet. The North Dakota rules about drone usage are found in our Century Code, Chapter 29 to 29.4, Surveillance by Unmanned Aerial Vehicle. This code mostly pertains to law enforcement and the use of drones for surveillance purposes. The U.S. Department of Transportation just last week announced that it is currently creating a process for registering drones to make those who are flying them more aware of the current regulations that surround flying a drone. This registration will include hobbyist flyers, so until they push through all the recommendations on which drones qualify and which do not, this will be something that we will have to keep a close watch on. Lastly, there are a couple privacy restrictions that are already in place for drone flying. The Fourth Amendment of the Constitution is the right to privacy, which the AMA, the Academy of Model Aeronautics, also mentions by stating the rule that you should not operate on or fly over private property without first obtaining permission from the property owner and/or the tenant. Mostly, these rules and regulations are put into place to keep the user and those around the drone safe from harm's way. So now you know where you can fly the drone. Sherry will explain more about the drone and how to use it.
We were discussing Halloween things, and this is why this slide came up. You could dress up your drone in any sort of ways. Ghosts, spiders, really creepy things, but I wouldn't recommend it. So now we've told you why we wanted to do this project, and the policies and the rules and the regulations, but no, really, what can you do with a drone? Drones are already in use by many people and government agencies. They've been used to monitor wildlife in hard-to-reach areas. They've been used to oversee our borders and fly search and rescue missions. Farmers have used them to double-check growth in their fields and to search for cows after a storm. Realtors and insurance agents have also taken shots of property and buildings. Alec Monmouth, a Belgian grad student, created a prototype of an ambulance drone that has an AED and a CPR guide, which is located in the lower right of the slide. He came up with this idea after finding out the average emergency response time was 10 minutes in his country. He believes by deploying the drone, he can get the response time down to 1 minute in an area where every second matters. Drones can be used to monitor infrastructure like bridges, tall buildings. Just this last year, they were used in Boston to check rooftops for snow levels in their record-breaking 110 inches of snowfall. Photographers have also used drones to capture some amazing and unique shots that would otherwise have been costly or impossible to capture. Our drone is the DJI Phantom 3 Standard Edition. We picked this model due to its accessibility. It's marketed as the perfect drone for beginners. It has an included camera and a live HD view as you fly. The beginner's mode also sets height and distance limits that keep all flights within a safe area. In addition, we've got 2 batteries that should give you about 20 minutes of fly time per battery. So here are some more of the good points. Throughout each flight, the Phantom sends its position to a live GPS map. You can use this map to see where the drone is at all times. Fly with absolute freedom and confidence, knowing that the Phantom 3 will return to you with the Return to Home feature. The built-in GPS records your drone's takeoff position and remembers it as you fly. Then, at your command, or if the control signal is ever lost, your drone comes back to you instantly. The drone will also stay stable and under your control at all times during flight. After takeoff, which the drone will do for you, it automatically hovers in place, waiting for your command. It changes altitude or direction at the flick of a finger. When you want it to stop, it again pauses and hovers, waiting for your next instruction, unless Krista's flying it, but that's a different story. And because the Phantom knows where it is and where you are, thanks to its live GPS, it can calculate how much longer it can continue flying. It will then send a reminder to land when the battery runs low, or if you completely ignore that, it will land itself. Putting a camera in the sky makes everything you capture more exciting and fun to watch. Take unbelievable photos, shoot videos of friends and family, and record life's moments in a way you never thought could be possible. With the Phantom 3, you can share your aerial photos and videos instantly to your favorite social networks and amaze your friends. You have complete control of the camera and a live HD video feed right on your iPad screen. You can adjust the camera settings and use this real-time view to line up your perfect shot. The built-in camera shoots 1080p, which is about 3 times as clear as the picture on your HD TV. The photos come out in 12 megapixel JPEG format that look as great printed out as they do on your screen. All the settings are optimized for aerial images that can give you awe-inspiring results. On record or record in video and capture every frame and never miss a moment. As our ILEAD first video showed, keeping the camera stable and shake-free, especially when you're leaning over a railing with old-timey music playing, is really crucial to creating beautiful images, whether on the ground or in the air. This is why a good stabilization gimbal is important. The 3-axis gimbal that holds the camera to the Phantom 3 is evolved from the same technology found in high-end equipment that is relied on by Hollywood filmmakers and gives you stable footage every time. The Phantom 3 standard naturally banks and rolls as you fly, but the gimbal responds instantly and keeps the camera perfectly level. So your photos look sharp and your videos stay smooth no matter how badly you may try to fly it. Included in our drone kit is the versatile Apple iPad Air 2. We chose the iPad not only to give you a larger screen so you can see more when you're flying the drone, but for the user-friendly iMovie. iMovie is basic, but it's easy to use and can produce great results that will wow your friends and family. But what can my small, rural, urban, specialized, school, one-person, technology challenge, etc., 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 library do with a drone? I know it's a cliche, but the possibilities are endless. You can do video and editing classes. You can do a contest for the best shots and videos. For example, where is Waldo? Yeah, Tracy, where's Waldo? You could do a contest. You can help people in your community get pictures of their events from a unique point of view. You can show patrons how to fly over their homes looking for lost shingles or broken gutters, or provide a unique perspective to buyers, sellers, and builders. Many people in agricultural fields already use drones to monitor farms, crops, and herds. But the number one thing your library can do with a drone, it's just letting people fly it. I think they'd be pretty happy to do just that. Really, when you have our drone kit, switch the feed. The sky's the limit. So, any questions? Are we that amazing? Okay, Eric.
So have you considered, before releasing this first regulation, I think there is going to be an intimidation factor for libraries to request this. So have you thought about a rollout where we do some demonstrations at different conferences or library events throughout the state before making it available for circulation?
We did talk about that yesterday, and we'll have to talk to some of our other staff members if they would be willing to take it out on site visits with them. And we're also planning probably on doing a spring workshop rollout and probably an NDLA taking it there and answering questions there and just letting people see it and be more comfortable with it because, you know, it is something that you don't see every day. So we just want to get the word out there and make people want to play with it.
Because you guys know you want to come up here.
Is that simulator, does that go with it?
Yes.
Yes.
It's downloaded onto the iPad.
And that's one of the things we hope to show people when we bring it to them.
So you can practice with it before you actually take it into the air. So it makes you more comfortable. Pam, you had a question?
Do you have a YouTube video of you all doing a how-to video on this?
No.
The question was if we had a YouTube video, an instructional YouTube video, but that's a good idea.
It is in the planning stages, and it's a not yet kind of thing. There are so many videos from the company we bought it from that we just did mostly that.
Chris?
Did you say how much that particular drone costs?
The price of this particular drone was $6.99.
And that comes with the drone, one set of propellers, and the remote. That was all that was in that package, right?
So you also have an iPad. And I don't think you talked much about what role that plays within the whole drone economy that you're.
Yeah, we skipped over that mostly for time. But we brought the iPad and we're surprised because the DJI thing comes with an ability to download their app, and that's how you get to see the live camera and feed. As soon as Ryan is able to, he is going to fix this clip on the back so it can hold the weight of the thing we purchased, because apparently that clip was not intended to hold something that heavy. And then you'll be able to use it as another screen. And then we also purchased iMovie. Actually, we didn't purchase it, it was free.
Yes, it was free.
And so you'll have the ability to download the footage you've done and put it into iMovie to help do that part. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Krista, you mentioned this would be available to school and public libraries. Will it also be available to academic libraries if they chose to, if they wanted to?
I don't see why not. The question was if it would be available for academic libraries. And yeah, it would.
So any library in North Dakota, really?
Yes.
Okay, great.
We just followed the policy that we have for our other kits that are currently our technology kits that we also have at the state library.
Unfortunately, Julie's library might have a bit of a problem. She's one of our specialized libraries being out at the base, because the base qualifies as one of those can't fly it within 5 miles of areas.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans for a wait list? Because I imagine once word gets out, you'll have 1,000 people who want to check this out. How might you handle that?
I did
So
talk.
the question was,
Is there going to be a wait list? I did talk about it in the beginning of mine. We have a kit keeper site, and it goes out. I don't even know how far it goes out, but it gives you an 8-week checkout time, so you can click on what day you want it, put your name in, and then you will get it on that date. So
and if somebody has it out, it won't let you reserve on those days. So hopefully it can be used that way. So again, we're Team Unicorn, and we'd like to thank you for listening to our presentation. Remember, always be a unicorn.